Hey there, RTD clan. Today I've got some alarming news for you about the state of the U.S. oil reserves, and it's not looking pretty. So brace yourselves because it's going to hit our wallets pretty hard this upcoming winter. Did our country seem to forget that the U.S. oil reserves are at their lowest level since 1985? There's so much going on in the world these days that the mainstream news seems to have forgotten about the almost depletion of our nation's oil reserves just a year ago. And so here we are now approaching winter of 2023, and no one seems to be taking this serious at all. This energy decline has been happening faster than ever in history. But hold on, it gets even worse. The Biden administration announced a plan to refill reserves almost a year ago with a target price of, say, $67 to $72 per barrel of crude oil. Well, guess what? We're currently almost 20% above that level, and it's concerning to say the least. Now, here's where things get really suspicious. The U.S. recently said that they're delaying refilling the reserves again, citing market conditions. Meanwhile, oil prices are soaring, nearing a new 52-week high. So actually, what's their game plan here? It's kind of baffling to say the least. Adding to the chaos, OPEC leader Saudi Arabia is extending its oil production cut for another month. And guess what? This move threatens to drive gasoline and energy prices even higher heading into this winter. But it doesn't end there. Russia is also joining the party, announcing plans to cut oil exports by 300,000 barrels per day in September. It's like they're literally trying to play hardball with our wallets. Now, here's the kicker. The US and Europe are not being invited to the BRICS meeting of the most resource-rich nations in the next couple of weeks. And let me tell you, whatever comes out of this meeting won't be in favor of the United States one bit. So what's the bottom line here? Brace yourselves for a winter of high gas prices and economic chaos, my friends. The world is shifting away from the dollar, and the U.S. is looking very vulnerable right now. China securing deals to pay for oil in their own currency, the yuan, is proof that this is something the world should take serious. It's clear that the global order is changing, and the U.S. can't just sanction its way out of this mess. They can't create more oil to restock the reserves in time for winter, and that's a problem. The days ahead for the petrol standard may be numbered, and the U.S. needs to wake up to the reality of a new multipolar world, where the BRICS nations are forming alliances, and it's bad news for the dollar supremacy. So the SPR, or the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, is something that everybody should be keeping an eye on. Because as I mentioned months ago, it was no coincidence that the U.S. jumped in to try to save the world by basically depleting our oil. So here we are now heading into a winter where gas prices are high, the nations are cutting us off from their oil. So what does that mean for our country? It's not looking pretty. But for some reason, it seems like that's a part of their plan. So basically, these days ahead may not be so cozy after all. The oil-rich nations, along with Russia and China, seem to have plans for how oil will be priced, and it's not looking good for us. So I just want to take a quick minute and share with you a story that no one seems to be talking about right now, and it's something that we should be aware of because we got winter coming up, and it's going to be a mighty cold winter as well as costly. So basically, keep your ears open, keep your eyes on the swivel, do the best you can within your own control, and leave the rest up to the Lord. Because it's clear that after this summit in the next couple of weeks, we should be prepared for a dark winter that's coming for the U.S. once the BRICS solidify their agreements to replace the dollar officially. But anyway, just sharing my thoughts. I'm curious to hear yours. If you found any value here, hit that thumbs up button, share this so more people can find out what's going on, and I'll catch you on the next video.